Today I'm going to show you a very, very tasty morning muffin called Cranberry Streusel Muffins. What's unique about it is it's going to be made with a soft white wheat pastry flour. And that is not your regular wheat flour that you would use to make bread, like a loaf bread that has yeast in it. This is just for quick breads like pancakes and muffins. My kids love it. And sometimes we're wondering, what in the world do we do with all the cranberries that we bought at for Christmas cranberry sauce or Thanksgiving? This muffin will make you want to go buy more bags so that you don't run out through the year because it is very delicious. My kids are hungry for this morning, so let's get started. To begin with, I'm going to take 1 cup of cranberries, rinse them, then I'm going to toss them with 2 tablespoons of sugar. Okay, they've been rinsed. Sprinkle it with sugar. A cranberry is a very tart berry, so you have to, you've had cranberry juice, I'm sure, and you know how tart that is. Give it a little bit of a sweetener so you can really enjoy it. Okay, after we've tossed it with sugar, we're going to set this aside. Okay, we have our oven preheating to 350. The next thing we want to do is make our streusel topping. And so we are going to need 1/4 cup of sugar plus another tablespoon. We will need 2 tablespoons of our soft white pastry wheat flour that I mentioned in the introduction, and 2 tablespoons of butter. So we're going to put this all in this bowl. When you put your flour and sugar together, stir that. Mix it well before you put your butter in. When you put your butter in, you want to cut it in. So that means what you're going to do is take your butter and cut it into pieces. And then you're going to take a pastry cutter, make it very fine till it's like the size of peas inside your mixture here. For this, you want very cold butter. Do not bring it to room temperature. See how it's looking? Take a muffin tin and spray it with cooking oil. And then set this aside. Let's get our dry ingredients together. We are going to need 1 1/3 cups soft white pastry flour. You can see this is not strictly white like your all-purpose flour would be. We are going to need 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to stir this until it's well combined. So to start making our batter, we're going to put in room temperature softened butter. You need 1 cup of sugar, and you are going to let this mix for about 2 minutes once it gets combined.
Reduce your speed to low and slowly add the eggs and vanilla. Then you will mix until everything is incorporated well.
We've combined our wet ingredients and mixed it for 2 minutes. Now for our few ingredients that's left, we need a 1/4 cup of sour cream and a 1/4 cup of honey vanilla yogurt. This is the brand I use. You don't have to do the honey vanilla. You could just do pure sour cream or all plain yogurt if you like. But throwing this in there puts this muffin just over the top of tastiness. So I highly encourage you to try it with the honey vanilla yogurt. I believe Sam sells this too. Okay, so our next step is we're going to put in a little more than half of the dry ingredients into our wet ingredients. And then we're going to alternate it by putting in half of this, putting in the rest of the flour, and this. Don't overmix, because if you overmix, your muffins will fall. So we're gonna put in a little more than half. So now we're going to put in half of our wet ingredients.
Add in your remaining flour, give it a quick mix, and then add your last bit of wet ingredients.
And I'm going to stop it right there. You can still see some flour, you can see streaks of sour cream, but I'm wanting to put in my cranberries, and I do not want it to be overmixed, as I keep saying. The rest I'm going to do by hand. Here's our cranberries. We're going to fold these in by folding. So we have our batter, and now we're going to take one of these handy dandy cookie scoops, and we're going to fill up our muffin tins 3/4 full.
Next, put about a teaspoonful of streusel topping on top of each muffin.
They're ready to go into the oven for 25 minutes. We're going to let them cool for a few minutes, then we're going to loosen them up with this little plastic spatula. All right, let's take this and gently go around the edges and lift up a little bit on the bottom. They've all been loosened. Now we're going to put them out on our cooling rack. Let's try one, shall we? Very good.